Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Job, the 36th chapter. Elihu also proceeded and said, "Suffer me a little, and I will shew thee that I have yet to speak on God's behalf." It says here in the NKJV, "Bear with me a little, and I will show you that there are yet words to speak on God's behalf. I will fetch my knowledge from afar and will ascribe righteousness to my maker." NLT, I will present profound arguments for the righteousness of my creator. Basically, it's like he's like like speaking as like a lawyer, or like in defense of the Most High, as he believes that Job's friends didn't do a good enough job of defending that when Job was speaking as he was. "For truly my words shall not be false. He that is perfect in knowledge is with thee." It says here, "I am telling you nothing but the truth, for I am a man of great knowledge." So he's referring to himself here. "Behold, God is mighty, and despiseth not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom. He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor. He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne. Yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are exalted. Right? So the Lord's eyes are always on the righteous. He establishes kings, and he exalts them. And if they be bound in fetters, which are chains, and beholden in cords of affliction, then he sheweth them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded." So if they end up in chains or in affliction, he basically shows man what your transgression was, right? He shows them their work, the things they've done, and the transgressions that they have exceeded, or the iniquities they have committed. "He openeth also their ear to discipline, and commandeth that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity, and their years in pleasures. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge." Because they're going to die as fools, ignorant of the righteous path of the Lord. "But the hypocrites, or the ungodly in heart, heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them." So it says here in the NLT, "For the godless are full of resentment. Even when he punishes them, they refuse to cry out to him for help. They die in youth, and their life is among the unclean." So they die young by the judgments of the Lord, and they live a vile, or immoral life. "He delivereth the poor in his affliction, and openeth their ears in oppression. Even so," let's actually look at that in another translation as well. So it says here, NLT, "By means of their suffering, he rescues those who suffer, for he gets their attention through adversity." So sometimes he'll put you through that to to straighten you out, right? Or to get a message across. "Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place." So speaking of Job here, he's saying just like that, he would have taken you out of that difficult position and brought you into a place of, a broad place, which represents, a better situation, relief, right? Joy, where there is no straightness, right? No difficulty. "And that which would be set on thy table should be full of fatness," right? And you would get to eat the best of the best. "But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee." He said, but rather, since you didn't take the right route, NKJV, "but you are filled with the judgment due the wicked, or due to the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold of you." That's why you're in this position. "Because there is wrath, beware lest he take thee away with his stroke." So he's saying the wrath of the Lord is against you. You better be careful before he actually wipes you out. then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. So at that point, not even a large ransom can help you escape that. So NKJV, it says, because there is wrath, beware lest he take you away with one blow, for a large ransom would not help you avoid it. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength, right? Or all your riches that you have, all your wealth. Desire not the night when people are cut off in their place. It says here in the NLT, do not long for the cover of the night, for that is when people will be destroyed. Take heed, regard not iniquity, for this hast thou chosen rather than affliction. So he's saying, be careful, watch yourself, right? And separate yourself from iniquity, because it seems like that's the path you've chosen rather than to be afflicted and humble down in that the Lord may have mercy on you. Behold, God exalteth by his power. Who teacheth like him? Right? So in the majesty in which the Most High is exalted, who is a better teacher than him? Who can teach better than the Lord? Who hath enjoined him his way, right? Who hath basically showed the Lord what his way is or what he should do? Or who can say thou hast wrought iniquity? Who can tell the Lord, no, you went off over here. You can't do that. You're going off. Remember that thou magnify his work, which men behold. It says in the NLT, instead, glorify his mighty works, singing songs of praise. Every man may see it, man may behold it afar off, right? These are things that the glorious works of the Lord, which everybody sees. Behold, God is great, and we know him not. Neither can the number of his years be searched out. So the Lord is so great, so marvelous in the things he does, but we barely even know. We barely even scratch the surface of getting to know the Lord. And as it says, you can't search out the number of his years. He's infinite in everything. For he maketh small the drops of water, they pour down rain according to the vapor thereof. That's the rain from the clouds, which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly. So that's your I think it's that the water cycle, right? You have the evaporation and then the condensation and then precipitation. Verse 29, also can any understand the spreadings of the clouds, or the noise of his tabernacle? NLT, who can understand the spreading of the clouds and the thunder that rolls from heaven? So how the clouds are spread out, how they move, how they operate, what they even made of, right? Like, who can fully actually understand that? It says here, behold, he spreadeth his light upon it, and covereth the bottom of the sea. It says, see how, in the NLT, see how he spreads the lightning around him, and how it lights up the depths of the sea. For by them judgeth he the people, he giveth meat in abundance. By these mighty acts he nourishes the people, giving them food in abundance. With clouds he covereth the light, and commandeth it not to shine by the cloud that cometh betwixt. Now, when you read this, and you'll see a lot of the other translations are referring to lightning and hands. And when you go into the word clouds here, in verse 32, it's actually, as you can see, kap. So it says here palm, hand. So it's referring to like that, right, as opposed to like a fluffy cloud in the air. But let's go with what is in the NKJV. It says he covers his hands with lightning and commands it to strike. And that's the theme of the power of the Lord that Elihu is emphasizing here. Verse 33, the noise thereof sheweth concerning it, the cattle also concerning the vapor, right? And this is him saying, right, NLT, the thunder, because he mentioned the lightning in the verse above, the thunder announces his presence, the storm announces his indignant anger. I think the NIV is actually closer or more accurate to the KJV here, because when it mentions the cattle, it's basically saying that even the cattle, let me actually read it in the NIV. Its thunder announces the coming storm. Even the cattle make known its approach, right? So even the cattle know and can tell, right? Like, yo, yeah, there's something going on here. Or a storm is coming. CSB, it says the thunder declares his presence, the cattle also the approaching storm. So they can know and they can sense. It's like when birds fly all from a certain direction and somewhere else, you can tell, okay, something is either going on or about to happen in that direction they're flying away from. And that brings us to the end of the book of Job, the 36th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Until next time, Shalom.